What happens when a popular rock radio DJ retires, sells everything, and with his wife takes off in an RV to see America? Ho, ho, ho! It's the Rockin' the RV Life podcast with Jeff and Patty. Join them each week as they share their experiences while giving you advice and tips along the way.
Welcome to our show. We want to say a big thank you for your support. We really appreciate you listening to our podcast.
Oh, we sure do. We have a ton of people listening in Ohio, but not only Ohio. We also have people in Chicago, Illinois, Seattle, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Denver, Phoenix, Dallas, Texas. There's a lot of people in Florida listening to us, North Carolina, South Carolina, and tons of places in between.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Also internationally.
Yes.
Germany, France, Australia.
Yes, Canada.
And a lot in Canada.
Yes.
You know, we've been on the road for 16 months. Right now we're in Las Vegas, kind of waiting for the weather to get a little bit warmer across the country so we could head east. We want to visit the Grand Canyon, also the national parks in Utah, and eventually going to work our way back to Ohio because we have a wedding.
We do. My niece is getting married, so I got to get back there for that.
And there's a lot going on here in Las Vegas. If you come to visit, it's not just the Strip and gambling.
Oh, yes.
There's so many things to do.
Oh, there is. Well, there's the Red Rock Canyon National Park.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
But we've been there once. We need to get back. There's the Valley of Fire State Park.
Right. I hear that's fantastic. We're going to visit that.
We're going to visit that. Of course, there's Hoover Dam.
Oh, Hoover Dam was amazing.
Oh, it was. And they just now opened the tours that you can go down into the power plant. 50% capacity, but first come, first serve. So we got to get back there.
It's a great place, and it's a great tour. Everybody raves about that tour, so you may want to do that as well.
Yeah, and there's also Mount Charleston and Death Valley. Death Valley's only 2-hour drive from here, so we're going to do that.
This is the perfect time to go to Death Valley because in the summertime, it's just way too scorching hot.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they call it Death Valley.
Oh, yeah.
And a little heads up, if you come to Las Vegas and you do the Strip and gamble and everything, that's fine. It's a lot of fun. We did that. We were just kind of walking around. We thought, hey, let's get a glass of wine. $24.
Yeah. Oh, no way.
Hey, it's Vegas, baby.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we did run into some great people here. Lisa and Jimmy Cox.
Oh, yes.
Well, you found them.
I did. I saw a truck, and on the back of it, it said, "Find Us Camping." I know who those people are. I've watched their videos on YouTube.
Now, they have a 45-foot long, and they'll tell you all about it. It is a fifth wheel.
Yes.
It's totally different than what we do.
Right. We have a Class A motorhome, so it's totally different.
And it's gorgeous inside.
Oh, it's beautiful. It is just beautiful. It's just huge. And the thing about the fifth wheel is the inside, the ceilings are tall, so it just feels so
You said
roomy.
You loved the kitchen, too.
Oh, the kitchen was so pretty.
And
oh, my
it's a
goodness.
toy hauler.
Now, it's a toy hauler, so the back opens up. The back panel is a big door that opens, and you can just pull in like...
It's like a garage.
Motorcycle. Yeah, a motorcycle or ATVs or... You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a big garage.
Lisa and Jimmy are with us right now, and we want to welcome you to our podcast.
Thank you. Enjoyed being here.
You've been doing this, for 15 years?
We started when my daughter was 5. She'll be 21 this year. So, 15, 16 years. We started in a pop-up just to see if we would like it. Just to see if it was something that we could all do. And this was with the two of us and 3 kids. My daughter is the baby, so it's easy to remember how little she was.
So I guess, as you can see, we liked it because we're still doing it.
Yeah.
But you know, it was funny because the pop-up taught us that we really enjoyed camping, but that it was really not big enough for 5 of us, even though it had the sleeping capacity for that.
Right.
Yeah, 2 king-size beds makes it sound like it's a lot of room,
Yeah.
but when you're in a pop-up, 50, 60 square feet, it's not enough room.
You know, you have to go outside so I can cook because there's just not room.
Well, does the pop-ups actually have like a kitchen in it, or
A very, very small
very
kitchen.
small. It had a sink and I think a 2-burner, 2 little gas burners, and like a dorm fridge, if that, teeny
Okay.
tiny. So
And a shower, the bathroom, and a toilet.
Okay,
It's
that's
all
my
in the
next
same
question.
room. Same room.
You know,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And when you're in 100, if you're in 50 or 100 square feet, that's not fun.
Right,
So,
right.
We did that for a little while. It didn't last long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did teach us that we enjoyed. We enjoyed
that's
going
good.
outside, and we enjoyed spending the weekend somewhere, and the kids enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So then we moved to a travel trailer, and another travel trailer, and a fifth wheel, and now the toy hauler.
So you guys graduated and
Right.
gradually went up. And
It's the only thing
now-
I graduated in.
Yeah. So you're up to what? A 45-foot Keystone, right?
We have a 2022 Keystone Fusion 428, which is 45 foot long.
It's a fifth wheel.
Yes,
Right.
fifth wheel toy
Fifth
hauler,
wheel.
yes.
Wow.
And so we have the garage in the back, which we say we will never again be without the toy hauler, because that garage, people get hung up on that it's a garage.
We're trying
But
to
it is-
change the word toy hauler. It's not a toy hauler for us.
I say it's kind of like that bonus room that people get above
Yeah.
their garage when they build a house, right?
It's
It
not
could be
the
a
mother-in-law
bedroom,
suite.
Right.
or it could be your office, or it could be whatever. The garage is your garage when you're traveling, but once you get where you're going and you unload your motorcycle or your bicycles or your four-wheelers or whatever you have, now you've got this whole nother room. You have a 13-foot room, which in an RV, that's a pretty big room.
Yeah.
That can
Man.
be your master suite, or it can be your desk, or your kids' room, or a garage if that's what you want
And
to
it has
use
a
it
half
for.
bath in there.
We even met a
actually have a
couple
bathroom.
that
Wow.
yeah, we met a couple that she does crafts on the road and sells them, and that's her craft room. That's
perfect.
what they keep their golf cart in it when they're traveling.
Oh,
Craft
yeah.
room when they land, and she
Maybe
makes
that's what
all
we need
this
someday.
Yeah,
For me,
she
I-
makes
I-
all this
I'd
cool
love that.
stuff
I
and
actually
sells
saw-
it on the road. It's
I
really
actually saw a
neat.
blog today that somebody turned it into their exercise room. So they literally had
Full-on
exercise
gym.
machines and
Oh
gym
my
back there.
gosh.
So that's why we're trying to change the word from toy hauler to a multi-purpose or multifunctional room, because it's not
necessarily
it's not
toy
just
hauler.
for toys. It's just to transport your toys from point A to point B.
Right.
And once you get that out, it's a room.
Wow.
Or if you don't even have toys, there's a lot of people that just turn it into a master bedroom because it's a 13-foot master bedroom. That's unheard of in an RV, or their bunk room, or whatever. You can make it. It doesn't have to be a garage.
Right.
It
Right.
can just be this huge
Right.
room.
That
So
makes
what
a
do
lot
you
of
guys store in there then?
When we had the pop-up, we had all the toys. We had all the four-wheelers and all that kind of stuff. That little 16-foot pop-up. Now that we have a 45-foot toy hauler, we have e-bikes. So
Oh, nice, yeah.
We had a golf cart at first, and then we realized it was making us very lazy. And the golf cart, in most towns, the golf cart is useful in the park. You can't drive it into town somewhere. In some places you can, but I think we had like this, aha moment in Florida when there were places we wanted to go that were just down the road, a little too far maybe to walk, but you're like, I don't take the truck, and it's a dually, and where do you park and whatever. And we said, well, we could take the golf cart, except no, in that town you couldn't. But if we had e-bikes, we could ride. You can ride your bike wherever you want.
Right.
And people also get hung up on the whole, well, it's an electric bike, you're not getting, so we pedal ours most of the time. You pick something up and you got a bag of something, you need a little help pedaling back, or it's uphill, or,
Yep.
you've gone 20 miles and you're tired, you can assist. You don't have to ride it like a, motorcycle or,
Well, we've had it
whatever,
over
but-
a year, and we've only charged it once.
Yeah.
So
No
we
kidding.
do
we
more pedaling than. And the only reason I charged it is just to charge it. It was about half full, and I don't want the batteries to not be charged. So
Anyway, so
Well, I'll tell you,
that
we
was-
tried those. We rented some of those. They were a blast.
Yeah,
They are.
They
They're
were
fun.
One of
fantastic.
these days we gotta.
And it gives you more range.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to go out and see a whole bunch of stuff, and you can do it on the e-bike, it's fantastic.
ours
It
will go
is.
about 27 miles on a charge.
When you're pedaling, of course,
You can go 100,
you're
200,
using
300
less,
miles,
You know,
whatever you
you're
want.
using less of your battery.
It goes 18
Right.
miles an hour at 27 miles if all you're using is the throttle, which is great. But we don't ever use that. So
Right.
and we don't do 18 miles an hour anymore. We're too old for that.
Yeah.
You guys have been at this for 15 years, so you have got to have seen an incredible change, and especially with towables, trailers, fifth wheels, the popularity has gone through the roof.
It absolutely has. And especially, I'm going to say that I feel like COVID changed it. And I think it's for the better, because I think it's given a lot of people the awareness that, hey, we don't have to be stuck in one place. We can work remotely, which, you think 20 years ago, nobody even knew what that meant.
Right.
And then as
Yeah,
the
we told people we work
technology-
remotely, and they said, "You're never at home. You're always on vacation." Well, just like today, when you talked to us today, we were working all day today. So,
Yeah.
only difference in what we do and what everybody else does is our scenery changes. So today I have the mountains, tomorrow I have the beach, next day I have a lake,
Right.
where other people are stuck in a cubicle.
Right.
So that's the one good thing about that side.
Well,
of it.
for so long, I remember, God, and it's been more than 20 years ago, I was leaving a job, and I was really leaving the job to be able to stay home and get my kids on and off the bus. And so they said, we're thinking about this new thing. People are going to work from home. It's, just totally mind-blowing, right? Would you be willing to just give it a whirl? Just try it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And, you're relieving anyway. And let's just see. Fast forward 25 years.
Everybody's
working from home. Because why? Because COVID pushed the envelope. People had to.
Right.
And now I think more people are aware that they can, even if they don't have to. And with kids in school, the whole homeschooling was I don't know about all that. But now you can still public school, but from home kind of thing.
Well, now, this is where the big change is now, because now it's getting harder to find places to go.
Right.
Well,
because everybody is camping, living, and the campgrounds are filling up.
Yeah.
So you have to be a lot more flexible. And that's what we always tell people, RV life is not easy.
No.
It's a struggle and it's tough.
Well, everybody says you're living the dream.
Yeah.
Right. You're living the dream, right? And then and we are. I will stand by that answer. We are living the dream and we love it. And we would, unless something happens that we can't, then we will continue to live the dream. And I always tell people you have to be flexible. Well, the other side of my mouth, I say you need to plan ahead. Well, and you do. You need to have plans.
You need to plan ahead to be flexible.
But you need to be flexible, because those plans you made may change. It's not like at your house, your washer goes out. Okay, you're going to run the laundromat for a few days till you get a new washer. No big deal. Well, when you're on the road and your washer goes out, you have to find somebody that can work on your washer in your RV, which may be here this week. And you were supposed to leave tomorrow to go 100 miles away. Well, you don't know the repair guy 100 miles away. You got this guy here. So then you either have to be flexible, wait till you get where you're going and find somebody, or change your plans and stay here a little longer till you get it fixed. So you have to have that plan, but at the same time you have to be willing to roll with the punches a little bit, and
that's where a lot of our memberships
happens.
come in. We have Harvest Host and Passport America and Thousand Trails and all these different memberships, because if we had a 300-mile trip planned and we can't leave until late, and I don't want to drive 300 miles in the dark or whatever the magic number is, then she'll get on her phone real quick and she'll find a Harvest Host halfway.
Or a Passport America halfway.
But that way, at least off a Harvest Host, we can just pull into a winery, a brewery, whatever it is,
Right.
boondock for the night, and get up early in the morning and get down to that next place. So that's where the flexibility came. And for us getting out here to the West Coast, it was nothing but changes. Like our whole calendar has nothing but crosses in it, because we literally changed everything every single day to get to where we are right now.
Well, we got stuck in Indiana. We were picking up the rig and it snowed. And so that kind of put a halt on everything. And that was okay. And can I just put a plug out there for the RV community as a whole, because we were up there in 14 inches of snow, brand new rig, trying to make it work. And we had 3 different businesses, like people that we know through these businesses, saying, hey, you can come park your rig in my shop because we don't want you on the roads in 14 inches of snow.
Oh, nice.
And we don't want you freezing up. 3 different people called me and offered, hey, come stay here.
Now, where do you see that at
and
home?
that's,
you
that's
don't get that at
crazy.
home.
Those are great people.
We had some work done at Moride. So, of course, while we were having the work done there, and they do like the independent suspension, disc brakes, all kinds of cool products.
We got a great video on that.
We did a video on that. And while we were at their shop, we of course stayed in their shop because they were working on our rig, but we got to stay in our rig in their shop while they were doing, during the day we're out.
Sure.
But in the evenings when they're done,
And that was
we're
nice when it was
staying
9
there.
degrees outside.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
And can I just say what a phenomenal company, just all the way around, from the girl at the front desk to the guys working on our rig. They're a first-class operation, and their customer service is just unbelievable.
Which is hard to find nowadays.
It is,
yeah.
and
Amen.
it was like a breath of fresh air. And it's
Yeah.
funny because we met some really cool people there that were having upgrades done to their rigs, and we didn't know each other, and we were all at dinner one night, and the hostess at the restaurant said something to us, and we're like, we didn't know each other yesterday. And she said,
we're
what?
all eating dinner.
She says, what? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, y'all seem like you've been friends forever. I'm like, well, we have this common bond, right?
Yeah. Right.
So we stayed in the Moride shop for a bit. We have a shop that whenever we have work done on our rig, whether it's warranty work or extra stuff we're having done, it's called Affinity RV. It's in Goshen. They actually, when we got the new rig, let us pull the old rig and the new rig into the 2 of their bays overnight and move stuff from one to the other, so we didn't have to be
nice.
outside.
Yeah.
Which
and
is a
so
lifesaver.
we love them.
Yes.
Bauer locks, which I don't know what kind of locks y'all have on your rig, but they have like the keypad, the numbers to undo your locks, and
Key all the
they
locks
can
alike.
key your whole rig alike, so your door entry and like all your baggage doors and whatever. We
That's great.
had an appointment with them to have some work done on our locking systems, and he called and he said, "Yeah,
We're going to call at 7:00 at night.
yeah, I'm in Lowe's. I'm in Lowe's, and
We're
we
in
weren't
Lowe's.
supposed to come see him for a couple of days, and he says, "Hey, I was talking to the owner, and neither one of us liked the idea of you all traveling or trying to stay. So." Come stay in the shop. We even have a shower that, if the guys get nasty when they're working on stuff, we have a shower. And I said, we've got it, but I appreciate the offer. And if anything changes, just
So
let us
3
know.
people
Like,
in 2 days.
3
told us to
people
stay in
that
their
were like,
place to
hey,
stay
just
warm.
come stay. Which,
That's incredible.
nice.
the RV community is, and that's, I think, a lot of people, friends and family, they don't get that you're traveling around your RV, 1st of all. They don't understand what's going on.
Right.
And they just don't get, because for us, and that's our thing. It's the people and the places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
people you meet, and they are just the nicest people. And then the places that you get to see while you're, making the journey around where
That's what
you're going. It's
we
really
talk
cool.
all the time. If we didn't RV, first of all, we wouldn't be staying in Las Vegas for 3 weeks. I couldn't afford to stay 3 weeks in a hotel in
Yeah.
Mandalay
Right.
Bay or whatever it is. for
Right.
3 weeks.
Right.
It's impossible.
It's
So
crazy.
Yes.
we're able to get to see things most people don't get to see.
Right.
And we get to meet people you wouldn't meet if it wasn't for the RV community. So I can go to Main Street Station over there and have a great time and stay a week, because that's probably all I'll be able to afford. And you may meet 1 or 2 people inside the casino or
the
outside
people at the front desk.
or the front
Right.
desk. But that's it. But the
it.
RV community, once you come into this and you're here for 3 weeks, and the people that you meet and you talk to become friends, you get their email, you get their contact numbers, whatever it is, and then you travel with each other. And that's where
Or not even with each other, on the way across from the East Coast to Phoenix, we were talking to friends that we met at Affinity RV while we were having work done on our rig. They were too. First time we'd met them. We're from Virginia, they're from North Carolina, but we meet in Indiana, right? And they're full time in their Montana. And so, we talk to them every once in a while on the phone. We're coming across, and he calls and he says, where are y'all? Because they were in California with their daughter for, I guess, the summer, the winter, Christmas maybe. He said, we're actually on 40. We're headed back home. We said, well, we're on 40 and we're headed west. So flexibility.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We changed our reservation to the park they were staying at. We spent Super Bowl Sunday. We met at this RV park. We had our own little Super Bowl party, watched the Super Bowl in their rig, and then the next day we continued west.
now we're on
And
the
they
West Coast and they're on the
continued-
East Coast now.
That
So
is so
incredible.
Well,
awesome.
we wouldn't have known them if it weren't for RVing. We would have
But
never
that's where
met them.
that's where our Find Us Camping came from. That's what we want to build. We want to build an RV community. That's why we invented Find Us Camping and the YouTubes and the Facebooks and all that kind of stuff we do. And we do meetups every year. So we have a meetup every single year in Virginia that we get 75 to 100 people come. We don't charge anything for it. It's just basically we get a discount on the
We get a group rate
We get a
for-
group rate, and you come in, and our goal is people come in and they never known each other, and when they leave, they meet friends, and they exchange telephone numbers and emails. And we actually had 3 or 4 of them that really clicked, and they invited us down to Tennessee last year, and they never knew each other. So
They didn't know each other before the meetup.
yeah,
So
they got
that's
their own
cool.
little meetup in Tennessee and said,
Yeah.
hey guys, if you guys want to come on down, this is where we're going to be.
Oh,
So we went down
cool.
there and we saw 4 people that never knew each other before our meetup. And now they go down there and they
Yeah.
travel around with each
Oh,
other.
wow.
And they become good friends.
You guys call yourselves Find Us Camping.
Yep.
And
you found us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did.
we did.
You're on YouTube. You're on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere else. And
Well, we do our village. We haven't finished the website side of it
That's
yet.
a work in progress.
But we are in our village, so if anybody's on our village, we actually have a page, a Find Us Camping page on our village with about 4,000 members on there too. So we do a lot of our meetup pages and all that kind of stuff. So
And so at our meetup, and it's just that, it's just a meetup. It's not a fancy pay hundreds of dollars to come and it's a catered event, anything like that.
When
It's-
is it? What time of year is it?
This year it's going to be at Endless Caverns in Newmarket, Virginia, which is near JMU, Harrisonburg, and that area in the mountains. It's going to be May 12th through the 15th.
Oh.
And so we get a 10% discount on the site. So you would just call and say you're with Find Us Camping and you want to come.
we have about 40 sites available
And you
left
book,
right
yeah,
now.
and you book your
Really?
site. And it's literally just every evening down at the pavilion area, which is this big covered building. So it's like a legit building, and then there's an outdoor area. So if the weather's good, we hang outside. If it rains, we have plenty of room inside, and we just do that for the weekend. And so what I have found, we did it just for people to meet, right? But what I have noticed in doing it is when you get down there, like last year, there was a friend of ours that works at a campground. He came and did trivia one evening. which is like trivia bingo or something. I don't know. And I wasn't real sure about it because I'd never seen it. We had like 4 sets of cornhole boards outside beside the building. We had a campfire out in front of the building because they have a ring out there.
We had music.
The campground had a band and they were doing live music. But what I noticed was people that like to hang out by the fire were hanging out by the fire. And so guess what? They were meeting other people that like to hang out by the fire.
Right.
And there was a member generated, if you will, cornhole tournament. They were like, "Do you mind if we do that?" No, guys.
So now they want to do it again this year.
So we can all come together.
Right. Yes.
And so they had a little tournament going on. There was 2 kids. It was funny, but young teenagers. They're both, well, no, not they're both. One of them is very outgoing. And he says to the other one, "So you're a little socially awkward, huh?" Like just in a few minutes. And I thought, wow, way to call him out. By the end of the evening, they were over in the corner playing chess.
Oh,
Wow.
You know?
man.
Okay.
We actually
so
had people that was camping there, not part of our group.
That came down.
and
What's
become
going
part
on?
of our group.
What are you
they
doing
wanted
down here?
They wanted to get on the email list, and when we have our next one, they wanted to come again. So,
But then you
it's
meet
just
the
growing.
people that, like, you all have this camping bond, right? You all
Right.
have this RV bond. But then you end up in the same little areas with these people that you didn't know that enjoy the same activities you do.
Right.
And then they meet up. There was one group that they were meeting up and they were headed out west this summer, like their kids do motocross or whatever. And so they were doing that together. And like he said, we had a group that called and said, "Hey, we're going to Tennessee. Y'all want to go? This is where we're staying.
then,
this
then
is
we also had some others in that group that ended up going to up Maine, to Bar Harbor and all that. It was like
Right.
4 or 5 of them that didn't know each other, but they were all going that way. So they all met up and they were able to travel some together up there.
I'll
So
tell you, and that's reassuring when you can do that.
Right.
that's our goal for Finest Camping. We want to be able to say on our pages, we're headed from Virginia to California. Who wants to travel from Virginia to South Carolina with us? Because that's going to be our first stop. And you guys come down with us there, and you drop off in South Carolina because you're going to stay in Charleston for a little while. And we're going to pick up another group and travel.
Yeah.
We're going to go
bit
more
farther.
west. And you
So
say,
that
"Oh,
way-
well, we're headed to Texas."
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can kind of travel together to Texas.
That way you have a caravan of people you know.
Yep.
And that way if
Yes.
something ever happens on the road, you have somebody else there to
Oh,
back
there's
it up.
safety in
Right.
numbers, no
Yes.
doubt about
Absolutely.
that.
I mean,
So-
even just a flat tire.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
like it's just,
Yeah, a flat
reassuring.
tire can be
Dear God.
catastrophic.
Yes, it can.
Yeah,
and
really.
so, you know,
That's where Finest Camping was created, to get
we want to bring
more
people together. We've met the coolest people camping.
We probably have
happens.
more good friends, best friends from camping than we do sitting at home in the sticks and the bricks.
Yes. I want to talk a little technical. You've got a Chevrolet 3500 dually that you pull this 45-footer with.
She has the doily.
Oh.
Do you do the driving, Lisa?
Yeah, I can drive, and
Okay.
I do drive, especially if we're doing long trips. I don't like to drive at night because I don't see that well at night. But
She's good for about an hour and a half.
I get
and
bored.
She's done.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's a good break, you know, like it's a good break. So we'll stop
Sure.
and he'll let me drive. Or if, like when we had COVID, I had to drive because we both had it, but I was not as sick as he was. Mine was
Right.
only a couple days. He was almost 2 full weeks.
Oh, wow.
So I did the driving
Yeah.
to get us where we needed to go, and that's fine. I'm comfortable driving a trailer because we've always had those. This
She
one's
can back it into.
This one's a little bigger
cool.
than most of the ones we've had, but
Yeah.
I don't mind driving it, and I don't mind parking it. But I get a little nervous sometimes backing it in, and then I feel like I'm blocking traffic. If like
yeah.
here, this was a tight site, and it was funny because I told him, I said, I probably would have given up.
Yeah.
But I would have tried because on the back row
Now
here,
you tell me.
there wasn't a bunch of traffic because I get nervous, you know, when
Yeah.
people are like, I'm like, oh, I'm
Trying to
holding
get
up
through.
traffic.
Yeah.
I don't want
But
to
you know
do
what?
that.
They all have that. We all have that same thing. You know,
Right.
even in the Class A,
Right.
you're going to block traffic.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
most people in a campground understand.
Yep.
Right.
You're going to sit there for a few minutes if somebody's backing in, and
Yeah.
don't get up on them and don't rush them
Right.
because people are new, and there's a lot of
Right.
new RVers out there, and you don't want somebody tearing up their new rig. So
Right.
let them take their time, and that's what I do when I'm pulling up. I see somebody backing in. I'll back up a little bit and give them some more room, or
Yeah.
I'll try to find another way around to
Yeah.
give them.
Well, you also have this brand new 45-footer, but you had some mods done to it. You had, what, independent suspension put on that?
We had independent
Yes.
suspension put on, and I'm gonna tell you what: if you don't have independent suspension on an RV, you better get it.
Trailers,
Yep.
towables, whatever you want to call them, fifth wheels. It's important to be safe.
Yep.
And what is the difference between that? And can you put it on anything?
You could put it.
You can put it on anything. It's going to be whether the cost is.
It's an expensive.
It's
upgrade.
an expensive upgrade.
But when we left Moride, that's who put it on Moride.
Right.
I put a water bottle on our bed and didn't even realize it. We drove 13
And I
miles.
thought he was doing it as a test. So I didn't move it. I just left it sitting
We
there.
drove 13 miles, and I went across 2 sets of heavy railroad tracks that bounced. And we got there. She said, "Did you mean to put that water
I
bottle?"
said, your water bottle's
bed?"
still sitting just like this.
I said, "No."
Oh my
So
gosh.
we have driven almost 4,000 miles since we had it installed last month. We used to get from point A to point B, and you're always picking up stuff off the floor, or we open up the slides.
You open the cabinet real slow because stuff's going to
yeah.
fall out.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing has moved.
Things don't move anymore.
And
It's
now when I
crazy.
hit a bump with the truck, you feel it. You'll feel that bump. And I didn't even know the camper went over it. I got the triple axles. I didn't even know all 3 of them went over it. And it's like, wow, we're clear of that already.
Well,
so,
and like the train tracks in the truck, normally you go across the train tracks and you feel that, and then you look behind you and you see the camper bounce, back and forth, boom, boom, boom. It's just
that.
straight over.
That's
It's
remarkable.
amazing.
And
it is amazing.
with our triple axles, we've had, they're just 7,000 pound rating axles that are on there, and they're on hangers. And we've seen a lot of people, the hangers break. We actually had a friend that had a double axle. It's not a toy hauler. Their hanger broke, and their back tires and the front tires connected.
Whoa.
And he was driving down a road, and it literally drugged the tires. You have a 13'6" camper. You can't just put it on the back of a rollback and get it to where you needed to go. So they had to call. Mobile Tech stopped, and they literally had to take ratchet straps and bend it back to get up
Just
off
to
the
get
road.
off the road.
To get off the road to go 4 miles down the road, which took them almost a mile an hour
Wow.
to get down the road to get it fixed. Well, on these, there is no more hangers. They literally cut all the hangers off, cut all that stuff
It's
off.
crazy.
We have
You
an
go
awesome,
to the shop and it's like where all these things used to be. It's just
yeah, we have an awesome
vacant.
video on that where we really showed how they did it, and they weld all these things on. And it's so much better on the suspension. And when you're doing, for us at 45 foot and we're trying to turn, you have a lot of flex in those axles.
Right.
Especially if you're trying to do a U-turn, one tire will go forward this way and one tire will go the other way. And you don't have that with all that beefy.
Well,
axle
and when they
underneath.
put it on, they do an alignment on
on
it.
all 6 tires.
So it's going straight. You're not got some funky wear pattern because
Right.
this axle's a little crooked, compared to the other one.
After we've had it now, I won't own another RV that's a towable without it, because it's night and day. It is totally night and day. And these roads aren't getting any smoother. To be able to go 300-400 miles, 500 miles, and you get there, when you open it up, everything's still sitting where you left it.
It's so
It's
nice.
nice.
Our Class A, I go and open the medicine cabinet after we've gotten somewhere. Everything's falling
right.
out. It's,
Yeah.
what the hell?
we get that every once in a blue moon if we hit something really, really hard. But most
There
of
were
the
some
stuff
rough
is
roads
standard.
in Arizona, and when we got there was a couple things, and I'm like, oh, well, this moved a little bit, but nothing compared to what it was. It's crazy.
She doesn't mind riding in the camper when she's talking too
Not
much. I just
riding
put her in
the
the camper and she just lies back here. She's just smooth.
Not
now.
riding in the camper. No.
All right, we get this question a lot. We're going to ask you actually 2 questions. The first one is, since we're talking about campers and suspension and everything, what do you prefer, buying used or buying new?
He always prefers to buy everything new.
Now, when it comes to RVs, it is better to buy used because somebody's already worked out all the bugs.
In most cases.
Most
Right.
cases. There's not a brand out there that you're not going to buy brand new that's not going to have an issue.
Right.
It could be a $10,000 camper all the way up to a $2 million coach. You're going to have issues with them. So I like new because I want the newest stuff. And that's why we go to every RV show. We're at Hershey, we're at Tampa,
If there's an RV show nearby,
if we're in Vegas and there's an RV show going on there, we're there. Because they change so much year after year. When we first got into RVing, they were just white campers with the same thing. Now
maybe
they're
they
adding,
changed the fabric. That's
yeah,
it.
now they're adding more, solar to them. They're adding apps and they're adding this and they're adding so many things now to try to keep up with the sticks and the bricks that you fall behind if you almost don't buy a new one going down the road. So I don't like buying new because something's going to break. There's going to be some repair to them, but then I don't want to buy used because
he wants all the
I want all
latest
the
and greatest.
I want all the latest
Right.
greatest. So
So you've owned a lot of RVs.
our last 4 are brand new.
Yeah.
But we started with used, and that's why I tell everybody: if you're getting into the RV world,
Well, until you know
buy
what you want.
used.
Right.
Yeah, buy used. Don't buy anything super expensive. Don't buy anything super big. Buy what you think you're going to use, and that's it. And more than likely, especially now, whatever you paid for it, you're going to get that back out of it within 2 or 3
the market
years.
is crazy
Yeah.
right now.
So we started
you're
when
right.
we bought our first travel trailer. It was just a 32-foot bunkhouse, $15,000. We used it for like 2 years.
It was the best little camper. It really was. With our kids were little then, and I say little. The boys were 10, 12. The floor plan fit, and it was used. And
No
never,
issues.
never had the first problem with that rig. Not not even like a trim strip coming down off the wall.
Because somebody's already worked all the bugs out.
But it was used. So somebody had bought it. They had found all the little things. They were fixed.
Right.
And we bought it used. And I don't know how they found anything wrong with it because the interior looked brand new when we got it. But it helped us figure out what we wanted.
Right.
And so then we went looking for something new that was the size we wanted with the amenities we wanted. Then we bought new.
And when you buy used, we sold it for the same exact thing we paid for.
We surely did.
So we didn't.
So there's
lose,
that.
we didn't lose a dime. If you buy a brand new one, as soon as you pull it off the
Poor
lot,
car.
you just lost. And now it's a little bit different now, but the times are going to change. Times are going to go back to where they were. As soon as you pull it off, you lost 20 or 30% of it. When it's used, we paid $15,000 for it, kept it for 2 years, we got $15,000 back. So we lost nothing. We gained. So.
I also think there's a lot of people, especially right now, that are getting into RVing. They don't really know, they're like, oh yeah, this is cool, we're going to do this. And they go buy it, a brand new one.
$100,000.
And then they go, this isn't for us.
Right. Yeah.
Well, so guess what? That's a great used unit.
That
Because
is.
it's
Yes.
brand new.
Right.
They took it out 2 or 3 times and
Right.
went, not so much.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you're not going to pay the brand new price for it because it's used.
Right.
But it's like brand new because they didn't really use it. So if
Yes.
if you pay attention and you know what you want,
Yeah, if you can
you
find
can
that.
still, you can still get a good deal on used.
Big question. Best place you ever been?
We don't have the same answer on this.
But it's
Wait.
a tough question.
But we know what the answers are going to be.
Hers used to be always the Florida Keys.
I have a 2-part answer.
She loves the Florida Keys. She
the
loves
Florida
the
Keys
water.
is my happy place. I love the manatees and the sea turtles and
She's an animal lover. If there's
I'm
animals,
all about the Florida Keys.
and now this is why she has a second place.
That's probably still going to be my first because year round it's the Florida Keys
Right.
all the time.
What's not to love about the Florida Keys?
But since we've been harvest hosting, and I think I was talking to you about it earlier, there is a harvest host in Maryland, in Mechanicsville, Maryland, and it is a Clydesdale farm. And the Clydesdales are just amazing.
Wow.
It's just a harvest host. It's a one-night stop. But the family that owns it,
we become really, really good friends.
they're
with
the
them now.
best people ever. They're the ones that did the decals on our trailer because they also have a sign shop. And they have the horses. And they're just great people. And they have the horses.
Yeah.
We keep going back to the horses, to the
Awesome.
horses, to
They're
the horses.
just, they're like big dogs. They're
She knows their names
huge.
now, and she
Oh my
calls them.
And, yeah, they're huge. But Clydesdales are like puppies. They are like in your face. Hey, what are you doing? Who are you? Hey, could you pet my nose? And they're so big. They're just the sweetest animals. And so
And we're trying to get a very small informal meetup.
yeah, we're gonna
there.
try to do something there.
So they're allowing us to park in their field, and we're going to do a circle, or we're going to call it a roundup because of with the horses,
Yes.
and they're going to allow the horses to come out with us. They're actually going to camp with us because they're RVers.
Oh my god.
They're awesome.
So as far as
All right,
mine, I
Jenny.
don't
Yep,
really.
what's yours?
I don't have a favorite yet. I like coming out here west. So far, I like the west.
It's just so dry.
It's dry. We're scratching, itching, and
I'm like my skin is
I
like
know. It is dry.
I'm an Army brat, so
He likes to move.
I like to move, and that's why we put so many miles on, 52,000 miles in 2 years. I don't want to be anywhere longer than 2 weeks at my max. Sometimes we'll stay somewhere 3, but
He's itching by week 3. He's itching to go.
I just want to see the country, and I haven't found. I love Montana. We haven't camped in Montana yet.
We're gonna figure out this BLM thing, and we're gonna do some boondocking, and
I think that's where I'm going to like the
that's where
most.
he's
So
gonna
Right.
hit. And
don't get me wrong. I love the
like-
Keys. 2 weeks in the Keys, I'm finished. I don't like that heat, that
Right.
the humidity and that heat. So we try to go down around Thanksgiving. 2 weeks, I'm ready to leave there. I love Vegas, where we are right now. Like I said, we've only flown into Vegas and stayed in a hotel. This is our first time ever getting to stay in a campground. And actually, like I said before, if you fly in here and you pay for a hotel room, you're here for a week, and that's it. So here we're here for 3.
Right.
So we're going to take our time, and we're going to go out and literally see outside of Vegas, go into Vegas, get to see a couple different things. So I don't have a favorite spot. My favorite spot is anywhere we go, basically,
There you
because
go.
it's just like
He
we
just
always
likes
said,
to roll.
it's the
He likes
people
to
and the
travel.
places, and we like to meet other people.
Jimmy and Lisa, we want to thank you for being on our podcast.
Thanks for having us.
And once again, you guys are very active on YouTube, also Facebook and Instagram. It's called Find Us Camping.
Real easy.
That's their story.
It's the Rockin' the RV Life podcast with Jeff and Patty. Hear more of their adventures on the road with our next episode. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe and tell your friends.